Charlene Dill. We talked about Charlene Dill last week. I first came across this over at Democratic Underground, and it was apparently a repost from Women on the Move and by Kathy Woolrich. And, in fact, I made a contribution to help pay for Charlene's funeral. I'm not bragging about that. I just, it's like, it seemed like the right thing to do, and a lot of other people did. They raised the $4,000 that they needed over at GoFundMe for her funeral. But Charlene Dill was a 32-year-old mother of three down in Florida who earned a living working. She had three kids and she had three jobs. This is, I was talking earlier about people who are just working their butts off. They're working as hard as they can. And you get the Paul Ryans of the world saying, and the Rick Scotts of the world, and the Rick Snyders of the world, and the Scott Walkers of the world, and the Rick Perrys of the world, all these Ricks and Scotts. It's bizarre. Anyway, you get all these guys, these Republicans who say, let's not expand Medicaid under Obamacare, under the Affordable Care Act, so that working people in our states can get Medicaid. Let's not do it, because it'll injure the president. Right? They want to wound the president. They want to be able to go on Fox News and say, yeah, he didn't get the numbers he wanted. He wasn't able to sign up as many folks as there's over 1 million people down here in Texas who haven't signed up for Obamacare because we're not, Rick Perry could say, because I'm not going to let him do it. Rick Scott down in Florida, a couple 100,000 people aren't going to be able to sign up down here because I'm not going to let them do it. I'm not going to take the money from Washington, D.C. Even though our taxpayers here in Florida sent that money up to Washington, D.C., we're not going to take it back. Let them send it to Massachusetts. Charlene Dill she went to the ER with pain in her chest. They said, you've got heart disease. You need to be on a medication that controls your heart disease, and you need to be regularly checked up. And she was like, I can't afford to go to the doctor, and I can't afford to fill a prescription for the medication. And they were like, well, you better get another job. And so she got a third job selling encyclopedias. She was already working as a maid, and she was already working doing babysitting. And still, but she was now confronted with bills from the emergency room that she had to pay. And she was still not earning enough. You got to make in Florida, you got to make about $11,000, and she was only making $8,000 or $9,000. You got to make $11,000 before you qualify for Obamacare. This is how the law was written. And John Roberts, and originally the law said if you make less than $11,000, you're automatically covered by Medicaid and you get free health care. But John Roberts and 4 other conservatives on the court who now have blood on their hands, John Roberts, Antonin Scalia, Sam Alito, Clarence Thomas, and Anthony, what's Kennedy's first name? Anthony Kennedy, yeah. Anthony Kennedy, thank you. You guys have this woman's blood on your hands. You decided to allow these right-wing crackpots like Rick Scott and Rick Snyder and Rick Perry and Scott Walker and John Casey to say to people like Charlene Dill, no, sorry, you only earn $8,000 a year. You earn too much to get free health care in our state, too much to get Medicaid, Florida Medicaid, too much to get Michigan Medicaid, too much to get Ohio Medicaid, too much to get Wisconsin Medicaid, but not enough to get Obamacare. So you're just out of luck. Plain old flat out of luck. And Charlene Dill was in a stranger's house trying to sell encyclopedias. She was trying to make that extra, or vacuum cleaners, excuse me. I mixed the two up because my dad used to sell both of them when I was a little kid before he got a good union job. He went door to door selling Rexairs and World Books. And she was selling vacuum cleaners. And here she is in somebody's house trying to sell a vacuum cleaner to them, and she falls over dead from a heart attack or heart disease. Her heart failed. Thank you, Rick Scott. And according to Harvard University, they're estimating that this happens 6 times a day just in Florida. How much longer are these Republicans, how much longer are we as a nation going to ignore the fact that these Republicans are killing us? We, our brothers and sisters, our mothers and fathers, our daughters and sons, our friends and neighbors, that these Republicans are killing us. How much longer are we going to refuse to call them out as killers? How much longer are we going to pretend that these Republican policies that are promoted by these Republican governors and that are promoted by these billionaires are not leading directly to deaths? And why are we euphemistically talking about these conservative policies? Well, they don't want to expand Medicaid. They want people to die. Or at least they're pushing policies that cause people to die. Alan Grayson he said, I memorialize Charlene's death and life in the congressional record because the Republicans want to pretend that none of this is happening, that Charlene didn't die as a result of their callous neglect, that no Floridians will die as a result of their willful refusal to expand Medicaid at no cost. But I'm not going to let them forget. I'm not going to let them pretend. This is not a game. This is very real. This is life and death. End of quote. Alan Grayson. Congressman from Florida, congressman with guts. He said, Charlene Dill's death has put the GOP's appalling disregard for human life on full display. There was a sadly humorous post that I'm sure came off Facebook. It was a quote from John Fugelsang. Great guy. He says, only in America can you be pro-death penalty, pro-war, pro-unmanned drone bombs, pro-nuclear weapons, pro-guns, pro-torture, pro-landmines, and still call yourself pro-life. It's amazing.